All the predictions given, all the talking done, coaches back to their seats, now down to the 30 men on the pitch. Your commentators, Ryle Nugent and Donald Lenihan.
Thank you very much, Tom. Good evening, everybody. There was a question about the crowd engagement in this stadium for many years. Not so much anymore. Rory Best is back in the front row for Ireland. Toner and O'Connell continue their partnership in the second row. O'Mahony, Heaslip and Ruddock, who played so well against South Africa, make up that back row. Murray and Sexton are the pivots in 9 and 10 for Ireland. And Darcy and Henshaw in the centre. Big day for Robbie Henshaw in that number 13 shirt. And Zebo, Carney and Tommy Bowe make up Ireland's exciting and capable back three. The Australian slipper, Fainga and Kepu are their front row. In the second row, it's Carter and Simmons. And the back row made up of their captain, Michael Hooper, a terrific player. McCalman and Jones is the blind side. 9 and 10, Phipps and Foley are the pivots for the Wallabies. Tamua and Kuridrani, an outstanding centre partnership. And the back three, with that man Falau and the new man Space. Well, you kick the ball aimlessly, they will kill you. Stone dead. There are the replacements. We talked about South Africa's strength a couple of weeks ago. That Australian bench is littered with talent and ability, as indeed is Ireland's in terms of experience and ability as well. And there's the man who will control the occasion, Glenn Jackson of New Zealand. Nigel Owens, the very experienced Nigel Owens, runs one of the lines. And Mike Fraser of New Zealand the other. And we have a Frenchman, Eric Gozin, in the television match officials booth. Well, subplots, sideshows, one-on-one matchups, it's got it all today. Most of all, it's an Ireland team that now has the tag of favouritism on its shoulders. How does that suit sit? We will see as Australia get us away in the third and final Guinness Series. November International at the Aviva Stadium, and Rob Carney claims the ball and Conor Murray will dig it out, and Ireland go to work against a team, of course, that lost to France last week, 29 points to 26 in what was a standout international. Murray with the relieving kick, and into touch it goes, and a chance for me to bring in Donald Lenihan.
Yeah, and interesting to see how Australia react to that defeat in France. They haven't lost two in a row in a Northern Hemisphere tour since 2005. Interesting for me, during the anthems, the entire non-playing Australian squad lined up opposite the 23 in action. They sang together for the national anthems. The message is clear. They're a united party, and they're really focused on this game.
Line out as always key, and Australia had their troubles there last week. Fainga goes towards and finds Luke Jones, and Australia have ball. The perceived wisdom, if they get too much ball, they will punish Ireland, and up quickly to make a terrific tackle on Kuridrani with Simon Zebo. And Paul O'Connell also there to make a fine tackle on Australia. Recycle it well and do well to get it out wide. His Israel Folau, arguably the greatest attacking talent in world rugby at the moment. An advantage being played to Australia in the last breakdown, and it's there for Phipps and Fainga in midfield, and Kuridrani, and there's a big block there from the Australian to exploit. Henshaw did well to react, but as we knew they would, the Australians, when they get the ball, able to hold on to it and go through the phases, and Ireland go to that choke tackle. We haven't seen much of it. We did see it in that World Cup match a couple of years ago, and it's brought success in the opening 2 minutes where Australia owned the ball, but Ireland found a way.
Well, that choke tackle was a huge factor in that World Cup victory in Eden Park in 2011. But already the Australians showing signs just what a dangerous attacking force they are. Great early hit there from Simon Zebo on Kuridrani, who's 6'5" in the centre. But the key with Australia, they retain possession. They go through predetermined patterns, and they already created a line break and an overlap in the outside channels. Huge attacking threat, and that's where they'll differ from South Africa.
And the key too was that despite being under pressure, they were able to recycle the ball so quickly.
Yeah, they're excellent at that. Scrum, another big feature here. First scrum, always important.
Sit!
Conor Murray feeds the scrum. It's solid from Ireland, controlled by Heaslip at the back end into the arms of Jonathan Sexton, who delayed the pass slightly and gave Darcy a face full of Tamua. The ball controlled Australia up 3 up to make the tackle.
Balls out.
Murray decides to go with the box kick, and Falau waits and gratefully accepts. Ireland need to be up, but they find a way. Falau to recycle as a loose pass, a wild pass, and Kurandrani stoops, but Zibo is there to make sure that when he gets up, he makes the tackle, but ball retained by Australia. In midfield is Kepu, winning his 51st international cap, the prop forward, and Australia decide to kick through the boot of Bernard Foley, and well positioned is Jonathan Sexton. Sexton high, maybe a little further than he would have wanted, but Carney goes up, waits for the man to come down, had to just step back. Ball presented, and it's there for the captain, Hooper, who sees a gap, but it's shut tight. Ruddock and Best, I think it was, in the Irish defensive line, and O'Mahony is the one that pops up with it, and Darcy finds himself in possession, and Ruddock there, and then the penalty comes Ireland's way.
Well, a brilliant turnover there from Peter O'Mahony to win the penalty. You just see the skill of Falau under the high ball. Michael Hooper taking the ball into contact. Both Ruddock and O'Mahony doing their work, but O'Mahony over the ball on his feet. That is brilliant.
Not surprisingly, Sexton points to the kicking tee, winning his 50th international cap today, if you include the test matches that he's played for the Lions.
That was a good gap, eh?
47th Irish international. 407 international points, including 8 tries. But along with Bernard Foley, comes in with a 100% record from that first game in the November series. Perfect conditions for the goal kickers in the Aviva Stadium. What a breath of wind, dry, cool evening. Sexton with the opening opportunity after 5.5 minutes. Terrific. Exactly the start that he and the team would have wished for. Ireland 3, Australia 0.
And the crowd behind the post letting us know right from the moment that he kicked it that it was going between the posts. It's been a riveting, nearly 6 minutes. Incredible from both sides. Good attacking play, perfect conditions for keeping the ball in hand, and both teams looking to play that way.
Foley gets us underway again. Ireland control it for a moment. It looked like O'Mahony might be dropped by Rory Best, but he brought him down to earth reasonably softly. Heaslip protects the ball. Conor Murray will again dink it over the top, and Ireland will rush on, and it's not met by Tommy Bowen. It looked like it was his for the taking, but no knock on. And where's the ball? Is it on the Irish side? It is, and Conor Murray urging the clear out, but it took a little while, so it's slow enough ball as McGrath gets hit by Sam Carter. Murray, surely Hooper was offside. Henshaw, dancing feet, finds his way around the first tackle, and the ball is presented, and Murray asks questions of the Australian defence around Rook, and it's now shipped on. Rory Best gets the ball with the last defender, and Murray fires it to O'Connell from a standing start. Did he knock it forward? No, says the referee. Controlled it. Here's Sexton. O'Mahony on his shoulder. Murray once again. Gordon Darcy up quickly to make the tackle. Comes Tamua. Murray again. Hooper was quick out of the line. O'Connell straightened.
Leave it lost.
Ireland through the phases. Not a huge amount of penetration, but the ball was controlled up until that point. Didn't commit enough numbers, and Australia come in and they've turned it over. Just an error of concentration from Ireland, and the ball presented to the men in goal, but they immediately kick it away, and Bowe feeds Rob Kearney. Slow line up to meet Kearney, so he dinks it over the top and gathers, and is he hit in the air? Surely he was. Yes, out line shot at chase and it bounces over the head of Adam Ashley Cooper. But Ireland will get the penalty. And maybe Australia will be lucky, it's just that.
Yeah, it was a great kick from Rob Kearney. James Slipper, the one who took him out off the in the air. Referee is certainly going to have a very close look at this. Kearney's eye on the ball. He's taken from underneath. That's minimum of a penalty. And yeah, you can't take a player's legs. That's dangerous tackle. Could well see yellow for that. There was indecision. Slipper looked from behind. There was no Australian player calling for that ball, and he panicked.
Now the referee, Paul O'Connell, having a word. Doesn't seem to be inclined to do any more than he's done after 9 minutes, other than award the penalty.
Well, he was right next to the incident. He has the, of course, he can go upstairs and ask the TMO to have a look at it, but he's quite happy. It was sloppy, really, from James Slipper. But you have seen bad injuries from that. But another opportunity here now for Sexton to put a bit of daylight between the sides.
It's been a belting opening 9.5 minutes in terms of ball in play, and lots happening. An opportunity for Jonathan Sexton and Ireland to stretch out that lead. One push to the right, I think it is. Sexton misses on 10 minutes. Ireland continue in the lead by 3 points to 0.
Yeah, he just didn't catch it the way he wanted to, drifting outside the right-hand post. But early indications, both Ronan O'Gara and Conor O'Shea, I should say, highlighting with Ireland is the fear factor there. Ireland are well up for this game, and you can see it in the intensity of the hits.
Foley restarts. Claimed by Bow, and Ireland immediately swing it along the back line, and Kearney uses his left boot to send it high again and goes chasing again, and it's taken by Foley. Ireland there in numbers. Foley uses those behind him to get an extra yard or two, and Australia start again. Devon Toner up to make the hit on Luke Jones, and again they've gone for that choke tackle, and Ireland hold them up. The maul called by the referee, and Rory Best rips it free and turns and sets Ireland up again. Heaslip tries to find a little bit of space around Sam Carter, Murray, Sexton, and Zebo's off in chase, and there's not an awful lot at home for Australia. Zebo might get there. Simon Zebo! Oh! Zebo in! Ireland have the opening try. Wonderfully created. The vision there again. And this time it's Zebo who profits. 11.5 minutes gone. Terrific stuff from Ireland.
Well, we talked about game management, awareness of what's happening in the outside trams, and it all came from being held up in the tackle. Jones, that's twice he's been held up, but Rory Best, not content to just hold him up, rips possession clear, presents it on the ground, and just look at the kick here. Pinpoint accuracy into the corner, bounces perfectly into the breastbasket for Zebo. We saw Tommy Bowe, Conor Murray to Zebo. That one, Sexton to Zebo, brilliant.
5th international try for Simon Zebo. And the kick to come from Jonathan Sexton. More like it from Ireland's out half. We approach 13 minutes. Ireland lead it by 10 points to 0, and the poker face doesn't crack from Schmidt.
Well, it's the perfect start for Ireland. 10-0 up. It could be 13 for the kick that Sexton just missed, but the accuracy of those kick passes, if you like, from Johnny Sexton is world class. And you know, again, what a 12 months he's had. He really is in top form.
Well, what reply from Australia as they restart, and Bo makes it clear that O'Connell should leave it and does the right thing, claims it, and sets Ireland up through Jamie Heaslip. That'll have stung the Australians into action, no doubt. Conor Murray sends it long. Israel Folau waits and gathers. Ireland need to get up quickly and make those tackles, and then it's back with Hooper. Australia through Tamua and Folau sees a gap, and Israel Folau almost away into the game. Comes McCalman, and Australia find themselves 6 metres short, but get themselves in a bit of a muddle, and that was good defence from Ireland, because there were 6-7 Australians over, and Ireland are going to get it away, and away comes Tommy Bowe. The chase is on, and Ashley Cooper is coming across, but they're not going to get there. Tommy Bowe in for Ireland's second try. What could have been disaster was averted, and Ireland are in again.
Well, you'd have to think that that's a 14-point turnaround. Tommy Bowe had to gamble. Australia with a 3-on-1. If he didn't catch it, it was a certain score for the Australians. But the second international in a row for him. You just see Australia, all the numbers out wide, but the pass was laboured from Phibbs, too long in the air, and Tommy Bowe seized the moment, saw the opportunity, and he was never going to be caught.
Well, Australia, not once but twice in that attacking phase, looked like they had the numbers and all through the hands, but they made a bit of a hash of it, to be honest, and Ireland exacted enormous revenge.
Well, Nick Phibbs, he panicked twice in that move. At one stage, the ball almost came back too quickly for him, but Ireland's their press in midfield created panic, and that's where the opportunity came from.
But it is noticeable, Donald, that if the kick chase isn't right, and that's where it came from Folau having too much time to set it up, that Australia, albeit now from 15, maybe 17 points down, are well capable of scoring tries and doing it quickly. On the clock. You are not dreaming. It's Ireland 17, Australia 0.
Well, it's a bit reminiscent of the New Zealand game this time last year when Ireland raced into a very healthy lead, and we know what happened that time. But Tommy Bowe, once again, the arch poacher, out of the game for a long time, missed, of course, the Six Nations campaign last year, was thrilled to score against South Africa when he got back in the Irish jersey. That's 2 in a row for him now.
And Foley gets Australia underway again, and O'Connell takes wonderfully. And David Toner and Jamie Heaslip are there. And Ireland get them all rolling for the first time today. And they've started this opening 17 minutes like a team they believe that are one of the best in the world now. The rankings, well, you can take them or leave them, but Ireland have played these 3 weeks thus far as a team who believe in what it is they're doing. O'Connell and O'Mahony will eventually set that ball back, and it's there for Conor Murray. And Sexton. And up it goes again. And after it again goes Carney, and away. Or in fact, it's Henshaw, I should say, not Carney. Rob Henshaw. And now with Zebo. And almost away, but now it's Australia's turn to try and turn defence into attack, and away he goes. It's the scrum half Phipps, the man who made the mistake, is going to redeem immediately. And it's Australia who profit from Ireland's mistake. And this came well. It's got everything.
Well, you just can't take your eye off it, can you? Again, it looked a brilliant kick from Johnny Sexton. Robbie Henshaw, who of course has played a lot of his rugby at full back, and you just saw how brilliant he was in terms of retrieving that. But this is Australia at their best. Phibbs stands up the defenders. Rory Best just missing in there. Conor Murray then just left for dead in terms of pace, and Australia 17-0 down after 17 minutes, but over the years, Australia, they have this habit, they're never out of a game, and we see the quality of their back play and the level of creativity that's there. So there's a long way to go in this game.
Well, if you paid your money for a ticket to come to the Aviva, you got your money's worth in the first quarter. Foley, first attempt of the evening, 12 from 12 in the November series for Australia. And the flags go up, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Cheika must be pondering. Nobody can have seen this in the opening quarter. The attempt of Zebo to offload.
Yeah, you just see Bernard Foley there. He knocks the ball backwards, so that's okay. But Phibbs, I'm quite sure for him, he would have been really disappointed. 2 mistakes in one movement that led to the Tommy Bowe try. So for him to strike back so quickly, a massive confidence boost for him. For a young player like him, you look at the sideline, you Will Guinea, well over 60 caps. He knows he can't afford to make too many mistakes.
Sexton sends it long, and it's Kurandrani who receives, and then To'omua sends the ball into touch around about the halfway line.
Yeah, we haven't seen Australia kick the ball that much, but To'omua, he plays out half of the Brumbies in Super 15 rugby, so Australia, they do have a number of kicking options from broken play, and they will utilise that.
This Ireland's first line out of the day. I think it is. After 20 minutes, that in itself, an unusual statistic for the opening quarter. Rory Best finds Devon Toner down for Conor Murray. Sexton, and quickly it's transferred, and Darcy runs into a big tackle, but presented for Murray, and O'Connell appears from around the corner, but that's strong defence from James Slipper. But ball presented for Murray again. Mike Ross, Hooper, one of those to make the tackle. Ross holds onto the ball, protected by Jamie Heaslip well. And Sexton again. Rory Best thought about giving it back to Jonathan Sexton. Fainga makes the tackle along with Luke Jones. Carney put to ground. Ireland retreating a bit, albeit with ball in hand. O'Connell, Kurandrani came up, or was it in fact Kepu came up quickly. Sexton, Darcy, Hooper came out of the line, smashes Gordon Darcy. Darcy eventually allowed to wriggle free and pops it up, but then a loose pass from Conor Murray has Jonathan Sexton scampering back, and Sexton heads towards the touchline, and the ball finds its way, but there are less than inches between it being successful and ending up behind your own post.
Yeah, it just goes to show any loose pass is going to be punished here. Ireland are carrying well, but the Australians, there's a wall of defence, a blanket. The ferocity of some of the Australian hits has been incredible. And Johnny Sexton, I'm quite sure, having got a horrible pass really from Conor Murray, so thrilled to see that going into touch, but it is an opportunity now for Australia.
Fainga to the front of the line out. Ireland across, Australia go to the maul. Here's the ball. Hooper has it, I think it is there now for Phipps. And they'll keep it tight through Fainga. Phipps again, and now it's a crossfield kick and into the game. A welcome space, and he's got it, and he's got it at pace, and that is terrific defence from Rob Kearney. As the Fijian-born first-time capped Australian looked like he was going to get over, and Australia might sue. Very close again. And are we going to the television match official?
Early suggestions.
I'll just ask a second question there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glenn Jackson just having a word.
So, are you there, Eric?
It's important to hear what he says.
Okay. Any reason I can't award a try here, please?
Yeah, he thinks it is a try.
Thank you. So we got a couple of penalties. Yep. Yeah, we'll go back to that penalty over there.
Well, we'll see.
Rob Kearney had done really well to keep Spade out, and Foley just showing if Sexton can put in those kick passes, so too can he.
I don't think there's anything to look at from the first effort. No, well held up by Rob Kearney. But then
I'm happy with that pass.
it's Foley, and I think the referee.
The pass.
But the pass forward is the first thing, and the second thing, I don't think he's grounded that ball.
I agree. He's short of the line.
Short of the line.
Now he is allowed a movement, but the pass, that's forward. That's forward.
And the crowd are encouraging the referee to make the decision.
You think so? No,
It amazes me how long it takes the officials to actually come to a definitive decision on these. I mean, that is forward.
What do you got there, Eric?
It's forward before you even consider the grounding.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm happy, don't worry about the grounding. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is forward. So Ireland will be defending a 5-metre scrum. But the key, Ryle, look at the pressure from Ireland players. Rhys Ruddock doing really well. If the pass hadn't been forward, a lot of Ireland defenders there, it actually skews out of Phibbs' hand.
I'm not sure how many times you can look at the same thing.
I often think TMOs are paid by the second because they take so long to make a decision. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Say. What's it say?
Now we can't hear the TMO.
Try? Are you saying try? Are you saying try?
You're kidding me.
The pass we think is
On that
forward.
evidence.
Yes. Try.
Try.
Unbelievable. Even Glenn Jackson looks a bit bemused. He has the authority to overrule the TMO.
And he's seeing those replays in the big screen. Well,
I think that's wrong
seen
on
some
two
decisions.
counts.
Well, we've seen some decisions from television match officials throughout the years, but look, it stands. That's what counts right now. It's 17 points to 12. And the conversion to come. But forward pass, it looked, and then I don't think we really got a sense of whether it was grounded on the line. It looked like it was grounded prior to the line, but there you go. Foley has the opportunity to shorten the gap even more. And his perfect record comes to an end. And after 22 and 3/4 minutes of wonderful football, it's Ireland 17, Australia 12.
That ball is skewed out of his hands. Even if you go back to the adage they had been using for a while about the direction of the hands were forward. That is short. I don't know.
Sexton restarts. And a game, a world game that's dominated by such strong defence. To see that number of tries in the opening 23 minutes, well, sometimes games don't live up to the billing. This one so far has gone beyond it. Jonathan Sexton positions himself and waits and collects, and Zebo will be asked to chase this. Folau. Did he call the mark? Referee was close, decided he didn't. And the ball presented for Phipps, and back it goes to Foley and into touch.
Yeah, it's worth the entrance fee alone to see the way Folau just hangs in the air. Of course, he's played Aussie rules, was apparently very good to Satanto Halbeen in Melbourne when they were both playing together in the same club. But a worry for Ireland now. It looks as if Simon Zebo may have dislocated his finger when he was challenging Folau in the air for that. He's on the touchline with Dr. Raina Falvey, trying to get that finger put back in. There he is.
Rory Best will get on with it without Simon Zebo. And it's taken by Paul O'Connell in mid-division, and Ireland to shift the point of attack and get the maul moving. Rhys Ruddock has it at the back. Australia do a really good job at stopping the first effort from Ireland. And it's Luke Jones who's in the centre of it. And Ireland are going to have to use that ball if they can. And it's there for Conor Murray, who feeds Zebo, who's now back in the line, obviously. And the ball presented again, and Ruddock will play scrum half and holds on. And Toner is there to speed of the defence around the fringes from Australia is fantastic. Sexton, that one's gone further than he would have wanted, and it's gratefully taken by Foley.
Some of the hits are just phenomenal. Fainga was blown out of the ruck there
by Devon Toner. Sexton, and he's blocked. The crowd on that side believe it. And Falau again, terrific take, but Ireland swarm through and Australia get caught in possession before they can effectively clear their line. But
use it.
It's there for Phipps.
Inside.
Slipper step back inside. And Phipps once more, and back with Tamua, and he looks to kick downfield. Sexton for Carney. Suggestions of a forward pass from the crowd. Carney chases again, the ball drops down to Heaslip, onto it comes O'Mahony, and Zebo's on his shoulder. Spate makes the tackle. Darcy in to do the clear out work. Murray. Ireland in midfield through Henshaw. Sexton. Rob Carney sets it up again, no way through. Packed Australian defence. Heaslip. Here's Sexton, again the kick, but this time there's no one out wide to chase, but the bounce of the ball takes it into touch and it pins Australia back into the corner. And clearly they have decided to ask the questions of Henry Spate in defence with that kick over his head again.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We saw one early on that Tommy Bone nearly took. Spade, brilliant with the ball in hand, a superb broken field runner, but there are question marks about his ability to turn and deal with those kicks.
Short and defensive line out, and Ireland compete, but Australia come away with the ball. Happy to keep it in hand through McCalman, and then does it knock forward? The referee looks away. And then Rob Carney, well, he didn't knock it forward either, according to the referee. Zebo in support. Carney breaks the first tackle, which was that of Carter. And wow, the physicality. Their bodies literally thrown in with scant regard for personal safety.
Yeah, incredible commitment from both sides. Huge hits. This is the pass back from Phipps. It's okay if he catches, if he doesn't touch the ground.
Well, that one is marginal.
Yeah, I think if we hadn't cut the grass this morning, it would have been a knock-on. Incredible ride. 28 minutes gone. It's just gone in a flash. Unbelievable.
Struggle to think of another international test match that's gone by at this pace. Just can't keep that going for 80 minutes.
No, and it's when you look at it, Australia, I think they have a policy as well. They don't want to give lineouts to Ireland. Ireland have only had 2 lineouts in 28 minutes.
Fainga wasn't straight.
I think Sai Fainga is lucky to be here. He took a hit from Johan Maestri in the French game last year. I'm surprised there was not more made of it, but when you look, Australia, there's short Stephen Moore and Tutafu Palato now are the first choice hookers, so he really is invaluable to this squad.
Let's go, Ludwig! Let's go! Bro! Move! Four. Routine!
Crouch! Bind! Sit! This one.
Murray feeds. Australia get a shove on, but it's still there for Conor Murray and Simon Zebo with a little bit of room. Spate who stayed back. Ball comes off the winger and Murray gathers it, rolls out of 1 or 2 tackles, eventually put to ground. Rory Best will play scrum half. O'Connell throws himself at Cooper, who again stands firm. Fainga a little bit of afters with Conor Murray. Sexton.
Stay here.
This one is again for Carney to chase. And both competes, and it's knocked forward by Rob Carney, and Phipps picks it up, and the advantage is over. It's out wide with Adam Ashley Cooper, and he's put to ground by bow, and then there's a number of Irish players there to try and disrupt. It's back with Luke Jones, and again Ireland throw themselves in. Both sides. The breakdown not making life easy for the other. No easy ball at all. McCalman with Spate outside him. Does well to brush off the first tackle. That's gone behind the back and gone backwards, and McCalman again. And a little bit of a gap for Phipps to move into, but Zebo slaps it from his hand and it's into the arms of Spate once again. Phipps, Tamua plays that first receiver, and Foley runs a wonderful angle off him, and Phipps is in again, or is he? Yes, he is! Wonderful try from Australia, brilliantly created.
Well, if you want a 30-second package of why Australia are different from all the rest, that is it. Playing in a shoebox, really, no space. McCalman, Spate does so well to keep infield. Look at that, keeping the ball alive. Great awareness, support inside and outside. And when this ball becomes available here, great offload from Tamua. And again, it's a missed tackle. Phibbs, just can't believe his luck. That's twice he's had to really stretch the legs, but Tamua is brilliant at that. Bernard Foley also keeping the ball. Conor Murray got sucked in. Nobody there then. Johnny Sexton just couldn't get back. A second try for Phibbs, and he really has made up for that early error.
Well, Ireland came thundering out of the blocks at the Aviva Stadium looking to blow Australia away, and yes, there might have been a fortuitous call from the television match official to help them along their way, but they have never let their heads, or didn't let their heads go down at any point, just stuck to the task and the game plan, and they find themselves, as we head well into the final 10 minutes of this first half, with a kick to put them in front, which seemed, after 10 minutes, something that might be more of a dream than a reality.
Unbelievable, he couldn't miss for the last 7 or 8 games. But look at the offload here. Tamua didn't even look. Foley knows there's going to be support as well. And amazing game. 17-0 to Ireland in the first 17 minutes. 17-0 to Australia in the second 15 minutes.
Sexton starts us off again. Bertrani is taking the ground. Phipps can see it. Tamua. Slipper, not for the first time in midfield. Ball presented really well. This time Australia choose to kick it downfield, and Sexton is well positioned. Jonathan Sexton sends that one way down the middle. Falau has all day, and Ireland never even considered chasing.
Well, that's just too far. I mean, Sexton has been brilliant in kicking those contestables, those kicks that just hang in the air and give the likes of Bowe and Zebo a chance to challenge. But that one too far, and already some of Ireland's kicking has been brilliant. When it falls in between the back three and the covering forwards, it's given targets for Carney and Robbie Henshaw to run onto. When they're too deep, really, you're just giving possession away.
Best for Devon Toner, Conor Murray, and the referee says not straight. Back will come.
Not straight.
That one just marginally has to go down between the inside shoulders. Huge target of Devon Toner, and the it's just probably a little bit off radar.
Let's go. Go.
Amazingly, we've only had 2 scrums in the whole game. You know, it's an area that Ireland felt maybe they might be able to take Australia on, and this suits Australia. The less scrums in a game, the better for them.
Crouch.
Slipper, Fainga and Kepu up against
Fine.
Ross, Best and McGrath. First scrum of the evening, first one to Australia. Phipps feeds. Ireland trying to get a squeeze on. Have done a decent job, but it squirts out the Australian side, and Foley has it. Now Tamua, and they look to run the angles again, and the offloads are there, and Spain, and every time they get the ball in the hands, it's electrifying as Foley gets to the 22, and Ireland just about get to him. Here's Kurandrani, Devon Toner, along with Paul O'Connell, put him to ground, and then Phipps gets caught in possession, but illegally so.
Well, I think there were 2 penalties in that movement. The second one against Devon Toner for a high tackle. But the Australians, they see opportunity out wide. I think Robbie Henshaw might just have been caught in between 2 decisions. It's Tamua. No, the cover was coming on the inside, but Tamua, his hands are just sublime. It's the way Australia offload. Ireland no offloads against South Africa in the opening game, and that's the penalty. Devon Toner on Kurandrani, just too high.
Offside as well. No, the penalty from that position, and Foley has not had the best of evening so far with the boot. This one straight in front of the post, and surely a gimme 3. He duly does what you expect him to do, and Australia, after 36.5 minutes, hit the front. It's Ireland 17, Australia 20 in a quite breathtaking test match.
Yeah, it's the best game of the autumn series so far, and I'm talking about all the countries. You know, numerous games being played over the last 3 weeks. But even the way Foley hit that ball, he caught the kicking team. He had 16 out of 17 coming into this game. He's 2 out of 4 now.
Now it's Ireland's turn to regroup and respond. And Australia claim possession from the restart. And Tamua and Ireland watches Kurandrani, and then Ashley Cooper come up in turn. And that's it on the full from the 103 times capped Adam Ashley Cooper.
When you consider where Australia are coming from, you know, 17-0 down, a disastrous opening period for them, I think they'll be the ones with half-time approaching really happy in that they think they have the armoury to create issues for Ireland out wide.
You stay there.
Maybe time for Ireland to consider keeping it a little tighter and holding on to possession themselves, looking to get away from that line out. Well, in the end, they don't come away with the ball. It looked like Heaslip had it. It's there for Hooper and Toner up along with Rory Best. Australian captain presents the ball again. Phipps, and the pass doesn't go to hand. Another mistake from scrum half to out half. There've been a couple on both sides. But the ball is with Australia. Tamua back, and the safety of touch sought and found.
Well, it's an amazing opening 38 minutes for Nick Phipps. He's had a couple of shocking passes, and yet he has 2 tries, and you know, they are half-back partners for the Waratahs, who won the Super 15 championship this year. You just see there Heaslip losing possession. So it's unusual for that synergy not to be as good maybe as we thought it might be.
Best finds Heaslip down from Conor Murray to Jonathan Sexton. Henshaw has a look in midfield, just closed off very quickly. Toner protects. It's Sexton now, and O'Mahony. It's Sexton on the loop, and then it goes to Gordon Darcy, and Darcy shrugs off the first tackle and goes to ground. An Australian lying on the wrong side. Referee agrees, holds out an arm, and now O'Connell can play. And up to halfway between the 10-metre line and the 22, Ireland go. Murray looking for the little kick and trying to create something out of nothing, knowing that the penalty was there. It doesn't come off. And what from here from Ireland?
Well, a decision now. Do they go for the corner? We've seen very little of the line-out maul from Ireland so far in this game. A lot of that due to the fact they've had so few opportunities, but Sexton deciding to go for the corner. driving Australia back.
This will be the final play of the half.
Well, how many times have we seen Ireland get that line-out maul going and make these count?
First thing is the ball is secured. On a couple of occasions Ireland have gone to the maul. Australia have been able to find an answer, but around the corner Ireland go. It goes to ground. The ball is presented. They'll be able to play on. Bowe is the receiver, Hooper the tackler, helped by Foley. Murray, Ireland don't have much out wide. And the crossfield kick comes, and Zebo and Falau knocks it forward, and the referee goes back for a penalty.
Jumping across.
Yeah, the penalty for Jones, I think, getting in on the wrong side.
Number 6, jumping across the line.
I just wonder if Falau, I mean, could you claim that that ball was palmed forward? You look at it in the air here,
yeah.
It is palm forward. Anyway, he's going back for the other penalty.
Shot.
Look at the way he hangs in the air, stretch. Sexton, I think, with the clock in the red.
Just on the
Ireland trying to draw level with this kick, but it was great defence from Australia on the ground initially. Good drive from Ireland from the line-out, but really, I think both teams doing their homework on each other, and you know, it's been a fascinating contest.
Got to be a lot of tired bodies out there. Lots of time with the ball in play in that opening 40 minutes. Very little in the way of set piece. And a chance for Jonathan Sexton to tie us all up as we head towards the half-time break. In it comes, over it goes, and we're tied up at the Aviva. It's 20 points apiece, bit like the rush hour, all one way early on, all another way later on. Gripping test match. What's in store in the second half? We will see. Half-time score at the Aviva, Ireland 20, Australia 20.